Mardu cars, Mardu vehicles, Mardu aggro, whatever you want to call it. This is our primary beep beep. We've got the Heart of Kiran, a 4/4 for 2 that crews for 3, or you could remove a loyalty counter from a planeswalker you control to crew it. And this card curves very elegantly into Gideon here. So you can play Heart on 2, and then you can play Gideon and use Gideon's loyalty to crew the Heart. The fact that this crews off of Planeswalker loyalty means that it's very good for both attacking and playing defense as well, since it has Vigilance. So if you spend 2 loyalty counters over the course of the turn, you get to attack and then also block with it. We're splashing black for Thoughtseize in the main deck, as well as some Fatal Pushes and some Angrath Rampages out of the sideboard. We've got some other card advantage in the form of like Bomat Courier and Chandra, as well as some Skalds here as well, so that's nice. I think that's about all I got to say. This build might be... This build's only playing 24 lands. I might want one more... I might want one more Shatterskull here. I pulled this list off of the internet. And people don't. A good rule of thumb, chat, when you're copying decks online is however many lands people are playing, cut a spell and play one more land. What's the trim? Well, I guess we're technically splashing black for bringing back Scrapheap Scrounger too. Is it just Dog Mom? I think it's just Dog Mom. Okay, let's start there. Turn 1 Bomat Courier, Sneaper Keeper. Do it. Alright, turn 2 Scrapheap Scrounger. Let's do it. Oh. Oh, you took Chad instead. Deal. Deal Arena. Oh. There's only 1 car. No, there's 4 cars, chat. Was that a good draw? If so, why? Please explain. Yikes. Yikes. We might be dead, chat. And again, this is it's when people ask about historic and ask about my thoughts on the format, it's tough to have really informed thoughts until we have more tournaments. Because, like, I think there is a significant chance that my opponent's deck is much better than most of the decks in this format. But again, the latter has a lot of people playing a lot of random brews, and it's not a lot of people playing the best decks. I'm very, very interested to see, like, what the upcoming historic MPL split looks like in terms of decks people submitting. I mean, how many copies of Claim the Firstborn are in their deck list? There's a good chance they don't want to trade. Really? Yikes. Okay. I think we're okay with that. I think I'm okay with that. Oh, they're just Lurising. Yeah, we're super mid. It's just... I don't think we really had answers there. These, and these, and these. Honestly, this might be a Doomskar matchup. I think this is a pull-up matchup. You like board in the card advantage and the sweepers, like trim a lot of our cheap threats. This was something this archetype did in standard. It pulled up post board. So Conqueror's Death is a weird card to match up like this. Because while you're technically right, it doesn't hit most of their stuff, it does guaranteed have a target every game, right? Thanks, Sphinx. I appreciate you. Sand's fine. Needs some lands, obviously, but like all of our colors, Cage, some Bonecrusher Giants. Bonecrusher is probably one of our better cards in this matchup, honestly. The audio distortion is on your end. If your audio distorts, just refresh your browser page. It's a Twitch bug. Does deck play Aethersphere Harvester in Standard? I think in the sideboard sometimes. The old claim into village rights. Kill your creature, deal you 4. The attack arrows on the wrong side. That's funny. Yeah, unfortunately there's nothing I can do on my end about Twitch's audio issue. And then the Luris doesn't really matter in the short term because we have Cage in play, right? Can give lifelink, right? Yeah, so I can play this.
I walk a righteous path.
Oh wait, I don't even have to remove a loyalty counter. I can tap him because he's a 4/4 in my turn. That's hilarious.
Share in my light.
That's great. Ally as Zendikar would be a solid addition to the deck for sure. So I think we do this because I would like to find another red source for next turn. Yeah. You got an Articuno raid? Sick. Yeah, I left my phone upstairs so Christy could do Articuno raids if y'all found them. I did 2 Articuno raids yesterday. I didn't catch either of them because I am incredibly unlucky. Neither were shiny though, so you know, it's like 6 in one hand, half dozen in the other. I did do the Kanto event. I want me a blue Mew. We'll get one of those eventually. You need to draw fewer lands to save up your variants so you can catch Articunos.
That was nothing.
Have a Fatal Push here? Fatal Push was going to get me regardless. A Braid? Honestly, a Braid on my Heart of Kiran as opposed to my Gideon seems like a win for me.
Not if I can help it.
Okay, don't need the life at this point, so let's give this Vigilance.
I believe in you.
So we have to kill through 2 things to get it, Chad.
I surrender.
Yeah, if you look, there's a very subtle glow around the card. When it's on an adventure. Yeah, I think I'm happy with how I boarded. Sweet, we're at 77 out of the 90. We might even hit the 120 stretch goal. So yeah, so if we have 90 people that check out the Star Trek game using my my link in command to install it, I'm gonna add another tournament weekend of streaming, like we did a couple of weekends ago. And then if we hit the 120 goal, I'm gonna add 2 weekends doing that in March. What's the deadline? I have 5 days to collect installs, so if you can't do it right now at this very moment, you could definitely do it tonight. Or over the weekend. Sounds fine. Not amazing, but fine. Oh, I guess it's awkward that I want to Thoughtseize on 1, but then I can't Veteran Motorist on 2, because this is not a Blackcleave Cliffs. That's actually not terrible, because now I can throw Doomskar. Being able to hide Doomskar in this matchup seems absurd. I think I just take the Abrade, right? Because like if I take this, they just claim it back. They just like take their card that can kill my cage. Nah, I think Heritage Druid would probably be fine in this format, especially without Nettle Sentinel. Nettle Sentinel's the card that puts that one into overdrive.
At your service.
Well, I mean, the claims are like kind of gone, right? Because they have Dreadhorde Arcanist in play. So like not really gone. That's gross. So they brought that back so they could draw Thoughtseize. Maybe I'm supposed to hide the second Doomskar. Instead of playing Gideon last turn.
I've fought worse. You hold no power over me.
Well, I mean, that's a good draw. A double bottom here. We're looking for one of our sources of card advantage at this point, with like a Chandra or a Skalds here, I think. Hey, Torcat, thank you for the 23 months of Prime. It's a long time. Welcome back. And they used their claim to fame already. Maybe they have a second one and that's why they used the first one so aggressively. I should only be able to cast claim once. After that, it's my second board. Yeah, we need to restrict. Claim the first board needs to be restricted in all formats based on flavor reasons. So that's the real answer. Ooh. This is a good fatal push.
No, I don't think so.
It's a good draw too, so you're saying there's a chance. This one, right? Make this indestructible. Deck for 7. Oh gosh! I could even make this indestructible and then Doomskar next turn, right? It's actually kind of sweet. Looking to dodge Village Rites as a draw here. They're through 2 copies of those.
That's enough. Share in my light.
What a weird game. Our sideboard plan was very good here. Our creature deck that we were game 1 is just like pretty close to 0% in a matchup like this, I think, but the sideboard pivot of just like a bunch of interaction and pulling up felt fantastic. You can't be a small creature deck against the claim the firstborn decks. You just never win. Being able to pivot felt phenomenal there. I don't remember what the board state looked like when I bottomed there, Lampton. Did I already have the Fatal Push? I don't think I had the Fatal Push at that point. Was the Dreadhorde Arcanist still in play when I bottomed? I think the Dreadhorde Arcanist was still in play when I bottomed, right? No, I don't recall. What do you expect me to do, chap? Mulligan turn 1 Bomat Courier? You're crazy, you're mad, I won't do it. Mardu Room 2 Cruise Control. Yeah, and again, for people that weren't playing during Kaladesh Standard, what this deck is doing where it's pulling up post-board is exactly what it did in that format too. We have slightly different tools that we're pulling up with, but the core concept is the same. I think I want to prioritize getting Bomat Couriers going rather than playing Scrapheap right away. A little bit resource inefficient here, but saving up some cards for later. Afternoon Z-Type, thanks for the follow. Gopter is banned. Gopter doesn't exist on Arena. So cards that are banned in Pioneer, they're just not coding into Arena, is basically what they're doing. Which is smart. Their goal is to eventually get all the Pioneer cards onto this client, so when they're doing remaster sets, it doesn't make sense to spend energy. In general, I want to try and avoid discussion about things that should be banned or shouldn't be unbanned. Wizard's strong suit has never been managing their format, and there's a lot of negativity surrounding those types of discussions, so if you don't like the formats as they are, play something else. It's like we're gonna lose this race here with our tiny Dorkos. Part of it is waiting for the new Runeterra set grappler, but also, like, my Runeterra just isn't as big of a game for me. So, like, to give you a context example, when I'm streaming Magic full-time, or when I was streaming Magic full-time before my break, I averaged 2,600 subs per month, and under Runeterra, I had dropped down below 1,300, so even all things equal, even if Runeterra's new format is good, I'll probably still spend more time playing Magic, because, it's just more sustainable from a content perspective. Runeterra's a much smaller game. Magic's formats right now are genuinely reasonable, which is nice too. I don't think I'd slog through playing bad formats. But if Magic is good, it makes more sense from an economic standpoint to play it instead. That's actually a really good draw. So one of the things that's nice about Heart of Kiran is Scrapheaps don't block, but in a roundabout way, Heart of Kiran lets them block. These Dorkos can crew this up. Are we dead? I think we've died. We've died. This is 12, right? All right, are we supposed to pull up in this matchup? Is this another pull up? This could be we pull up on the draw and stay aggressive on the play. I could also do a little bit of a mix and match, like maybe we trim Bomat Courier here, because like you saw that game, we get a lot of board states where it can't attack in profitably. I definitely want Fatal Push. I feel like I'm inclined to trim Bomat Courier and like bring in Skalds and Doomskar. I think I like this. Yeah, I think I like this. Big USD, thanks for the follow. Good afternoon. That's probably because of the types of decks you were playing too, Moldy Lock. So like the go big plan, like what we're doing post board, tends to be good against creature decks, but tends to be very bad against like control decks and combo decks, for example. Thanks for the sub gifts, guys. K Forgotten, good morning and welcome. I keep saying good afternoon, but it's technically still morning where I'm at. The starting at 7:30 a.m. has thrown me off. It's like I've been live for almost 4 hours already, but it's technically still morning. I think we got a mulligan this, right? Do I got a mulligan this? I don't have a white source, but I've got a bunch of castable spells. Can I keep this? I'm gonna keep this. I wouldn't fault someone for throwing this back, but I think this is at like the low end of keepable, like hand sucks keep territory. Hazoret, if we can get Dog Mom online, like she's a total house in this matchup, right? If we can get our hand empty, it's like a 5/4 indestructible. If we brick off on white for a while, we can use Hazoret to bin this. SP Seth Manfield for a game. Wide eyes, clear-eyed snap keep. Or wide eyes, clear-headed snap keeps. You'll never lose a game because you mulliganed if you always keep 7 shit. Just gonna go ahead and play a 4-3. Now, running white cards as draws is not really what we're looking for. Probably see a trade happen here. One of the other things that's great about Dog Mom in this deck is, like, let's say we draw a land next turn, she won't be able to attack, but she will be able to crew the Heart of Kiran. So, like, some synergy there where even if we play this on 4 mana and it's not, our hand's not empty, it still does something. Man, those are just, like, the worst possible draws. If they have a way to kill my spaceship here, we get to play the second one. Collected Company. Yikes. Ooh, that's... I think that might be all she wrote for her hero chip. We needed to draw a white source before now, or not draw a bunch of white spells. Oh no! Oh, I'm as sideways as this land, chat. Not quite 90 degrees because Magic Arena, but definitely tilted. Oh, you wanted a white source, Jeff, huh? Concealed Courtyard's the best I can do. Take it or leave it. Oh, man. 45 degrees of shame. Yep. Yep, yep, yep. Hode FG, good morning and welcome to the channel. Yes, this hand's great, right? Never not Bomat Courier in one? Or playing against me, Bo. I bet they're streaming too, if you want to watch this game from both sides. I think their channel is mythic_Meebo on Twitch. If someone sees their streaming, feel free to link it in chat so people can watch over there too. Just obviously don't give me information about what's in their hand. It'll be promptly granted a 10-minute break. Omen of the Forged. Dude. They're drawing Yorion, eh? Alright, should we give ourselves some information next turn? I feel like I'm into Thoughtseize. It lets us clear Yorion out before we get smacked by it. Bunk. I mean, to be fair, this deck was playable post-Copter Band in Standard 2. They played Heart of Kiran to good effect. Wow, that's great for us. They must be missing a land, right? Oh, is this main phase? So, Cat, thank you for the Prime support. There's a lot of great people making a lot of great stuff on Twitch right now. Thanks for supporting mine this month with that. Oh, they're a Doom Foretold deck. Double Wrath of God. Missing second white. They dead for... I can attack for 10 this turn. Fiery Emancipation. Some spicy stuff going on over there. And they should just be dead at this point. Because even if they hit the land for the Wrath of God, we'll be able to bring the Scrapheap back and kill them with Heart of Kiran. Hey, I'm glad you enjoyed the YouTube stuff. Thanks for taking a second to hook that up. I wouldn't be here without folks like you. Okay, so this, someone earlier was talking about how it seems like it's always better to pull up. This is an example of a matchup where it's not better to pull up. Definitely want to be our aggressive main deck here. I think post board, the only thing I'm changing is Showdown of the Skalds. I think I just want a couple of these to have a little bit of card advantage in case the game goes a little bit long. Probably trim Bonecrusher Giant. Keeping a couple of these as a 4/3 as a threat that can like crew Heart of Kiran seems fine. I don't think I want Conqueror's Death here. Yeah, that's the swap. Some mulligan decisions are hard, chat. Others, not so much. We're definitely keeping. The question is, how are we mulliganing? I think I want the second Bomat Courier. I could go either way on that, though. I think there's a really good chance that they're going to kill the first one. And I think we go land Bomat on 1, Bomat Thoughtseize on 2. It's not terrible if we can find another red source. Hopefully with Veteran Motorist we will. Show me your secrets. You guys should discard my hand and draw a card, chat. Ah! Trial of Zeal is not... Oh, they're playing a Demonic Pact deck. That's awesome. Honestly, I think it's demonic backed. Yeah, it all blinks with Yorian, right? There are directions on how to join the Discord server on my website, including pictures. The most notable thing that people miss a lot of the time is you have to be using the desktop Discord client in order to join. Will not work trying to join for mobile. I think we do this turn, even though it's going to die to this, because I want to try and find a red source for next turn. And another finger curls on the monkey paw. That's fine. We'll play Heart of Kiran next turn. And a tap land won't be a big deal. Well, they missed on the land drop. That's great for us. Well, Alec's been subbed for a little bit. So unless Alec just resubbed today, it should be okay. Yikes. I don't know that we can beat that. That's probably the game. In the words of every aggro player ever, I'll take game 3 on the play. Yeah, let's run it back. Turn one Bomat 3 games in a row is pretty not bad. Their deck has a lot of removal though, so I assume we're not going to survive to draw with this, but we get a couple of points in. It's this monkey paw I've been hearing so much about. Well, you see... I'm supposed to Scrapheap here, actually, to play around Trial of Ambition. Yeah, it's probably better. Just Authority of the Councils. That's actually kind of rude.
Gods bless us in our righteous cause. I can take a hit or two. I believe in you. Think so.
Tap me off a black mana deck. Man, Gideon Blackblade is just like really good with Heart, huh?
Your light will
like old 3-mana Gideon was good with it too, but like, man, that's great. And if they have a removal spell for this, I can bring it back in into turn, and if they don't have a removal spell for this, I can step on their face. I always knew Gideon's true calling was flying spaceships. He'll be an excellent, excellent, excellent commander.
That's enough.
Dunk. Game 3 on the plate, chat. GG's. Be nice to me, Bo. Give her channel a follow. You didn't already. They stream a lot of constructed stuff too. They play sweet decks like we do. Playing 4-color Doom Foretold Yorion over there with demonic packs seems sweet. Our race cars go fast on the play though. I think that was a pretty ideal opener for us. We had the 1-2-3 curve with the heart into the Gideon. This deck brings me back. I mean, like, yeah, and like that's the beauty of non-rotating formats in Magic, right? You get to like play these decks that you like remember from way back that you love playing. It's like, yeah, I remember that deck. I love playing it. Yeah, I agree, Strickles. It's great. Magic definitely had a little bit of a rough path, but honestly, even Pioneer's been good. Like having 3 formats that I enjoy, and having 3 formats that I enjoy playing right now has reminded me of why I loved Magic as a game once upon a time, and you know why breaks can be good. I am hoping, fingers crossed, that Wizards can avoid Oko Uro level mistakes again moving forward. It's pretty, as someone who's played Magic for, you know, going on 2 decades now, it's actually really rare that a mistake like they had happen in 2019 and 2020 happens. Like, bad standard formats come and go, but like, what happened in 2020 was unique from the perspective of, the issues that they had impacted non-rotating formats as well. Traditionally speaking, even when Magic's had issues in Standard, you could run to other formats and still enjoy the game. But like Oko and Omnath and Uro, they were just so powerful that we saw those cards ripple across every format. You just couldn't escape them. Nikki B.
Not if I can help it.
Terrible draw. To go Motorist into Scourge here. Do I stream Pioneer? Does this channel not play Magic online? You should check out my YouTube stuff, Desert Fox. Yeah, we played Pioneer to start this morning. It was the 3rd Pioneer League we've played since they banned Teferi Time Reveler. As always, everything I stream ends up there. Should we do this on something?
Prepare for battle.
Fizzones, thanks for the follow. My rule of thumb for what Magic formats we're playing is if Uro and Teferi Time Raveler aren't legal, I'll give it a shot. Hey, Nukem Gandhi. Thank you for the brand new Prime support. There's a ton of great people on Twitch right now. You can ship those Bezo bucks to every month. Thanks for dropping them off my way. Keeping me employed. We played a Grixis Delve deck this morning that reminded me a lot of Grixis Shadow for Modern. Some of the details were a little bit mucked up, but the core deck idea seemed very reasonable. Easy, good afternoon. You have a Bedevil here for my Blackblade. If they don't have a way to kill Gideon, we're gonna be in a real reasonable spot. If they have to attack Gideon with Nicol Bolas, we have a pretty good attack on the backswing. Second Bolas. Yep.
The immortal Nicol.
I tried.
Perish.
Hey, Doctor. Thanks for the 2 months. I appreciate it. Welcome back. All right, I'm gonna make this one indestructible.
I will lend you my strength.
I'm gonna go ahead and ship these idiots into here.
Another time, Planeswalker.
Play out the black source. That way if they kill this, I can bring back old Scrappy.
Creeping, heaving pride.
Not right with me. Not on my watch. I believe in you, friend.
Feeling kinda dead.
I sense you.
Yeah, put it like Gertz's Planeswalkers looks like. I'm gonna keep this land in hand because my opponent's Ashiok makes me exile a card when they bounce something.
All your fears are given for.
I think that's probably done.
Curse the darkness.
I think on the play here for game. On the play, I want to stay kind of aggressive. Angrath's Rampage actually seems absurd here, huh? Those creatures and their planeswalkers. Trim the Bonecrushers. I'm gonna trim for the last one. It's an ECT matchup. Yeah, I can see that. I don't hate that. Maybe I don't put in showdowns on the play, and on the draw, maybe we'll try and be a little bit more card advantage. Is there only one good vehicle? Yes. Yes is the short answer. The longer answer is that Aethersphere Harvester is like almost playable, but still not really. Yeah, this much like when this deck was in Standard, it has a sideboard plan to turn into a control deck with card advantage and sweepers. We did that against red-black Pyromancer earlier in the set to great effect. Sky Sovereign. Sky Sovereign's like, fine. Razor, good afternoon. Welcome to the channel. He's dead, Jim. You've murdered him. Murderer! So I played the Inspiring Vantage, even though they didn't know that that was a card in our hand, because if I drew Chandra here on 4, I wanted to be able to cast her. It just mirrored as every deck in Historic play Thoughtseize. That's not true. Some decks in Historic play Collected Company. But yeah, most competitive decks in Historic play either Thoughtseize or Collected Company. Some do play both, yep. In fact, the Elves deck in my deck editor is a both deck. The old pay 5 to draw card. I think I want a second Dog Mom in this deck. She's real good in these control matchups. Yeah. Yeah, I cut the second one of these to fit in. I cut the second one of these to fit in a what's it called? To fit in a second Shatterskull. And while I like that, I think I'd rather cut like Scrapheap. Sky Sovereign's just too slow, yeah. It's good if you can get there, but like you'd rather have something like Doomskar to like sweep the board fully. Yeah, this hand's great. Would like to draw a another fast land here. That'll do too. That'll do, donkey. That'll do. So we'll put this on white, and then we'll put this on black. Technically missing second red for the time being, but that's fine. Gifted Aetherborn's a pretty good one. Read. That's a nice one to draw for them to not know about. It's felt very reasonable, Settolution. Our pull up, go bigger plan even felt okay against the Claim the Firstborn deck we played against, which was nice. Heart of at a minimum, Heart of Kiran plus Gideon Blackblade is something I would like to explore in some other shells. Seems like a very, very good 1-2 punch. This before we decide what we're doing for the turn. You need 4 hearts for this deck. If you don't have 4 hearts, play something else. What if I just have 1 heart that's 3 times as big? Asking the real questions. No, we're playing the good Chandra. We haven't seen any counter spells out of them, right? How greedy is it to Dog Mom and then Thoughtseize so I can put the counter on Dog Mom? Probably unneedily greedy, right? And actually, putting 2 counters on Bomat Courier ain't bad, because it means Bomat Courier can crew Heart of Kiran, which is nice. The smart car is driving the spaceship. Yep. We're only 1 mana away from flipping that, which is scary. Xeno. Yeah, no reason to crew. Nah, I'm gonna trade the heart for the scavenger if they attack here. Which wouldn't surprise me if they attack. They need the lifelink. These both have Death Touch, so obviously block the bigger one. Okay. That's pretty good. And I think we hold on to this in case they flip Nikki B next turn. I get to bring Scrapheap Scrounger into play to crew Heart of Kiran. Bing.
The multiverse will bend to my will. I outsmarted you eons ago.
I think we just do this. And I think I'm just rampaging this. Hasn't really shown why it's worth its slots here. I have to put the second copy of that back in. Maybe I'll cut a Toolcraft Exemplar. I mean, the people saying Flip Bolas is scary are not wrong, but none of them kill Hazoret, so like... neither of them kill Hazoret, neither of them kill Heart of Kiran, right? Cloud, good afternoon, thanks for the follow. Toolcraft isn't Nerd Ape. Nerd Ape is the 2-3 that has Kurt Ape stats. Yeah, Inventor's Apprentice is Nerd Ape.
Why be a beast when I can be a god?
When I can be a god.
The dead child. Mortality suits me well.
Okay. Removal spell is lethal.
Has consequence.
How about a land, chat? You think a land is lethal? So, what if I threw the Heart of Kiran, attack for 4, throw the land at their face? Would I rather get the Veteran Motorist back? I think I'd rather get the Veteran Motorist back, right? Yep, that's ambitious. Okay. You draw 2 cards.
All the cosmos are mine to control. I know what.
Dog Mom picked this game up and carried it on her back, chat. Can we pour one out for Hazoret? She's a professional. Yeah, this is pretty peak Grixis control. Just like have both planeswalkers in play. Opponent has a threat you just can't interact with, so you die. Wolfwood, thank you for the 27 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Maybe they have a way to gain life at instant speed here. Survey says, get Grixis. Get Grixis. It really doesn't get. Yeah, okay, I definitely need a second. Cutting the second Hazoret was wrong. I definitely want 2 Dog Moms at my 75. I think it's just a Toolcraft Exemplar. It could be Veteran Motorist too. Motorist has been a touch awkward. This filling out the 1 curve is nice. I'm gonna trim a Motorist actually. Sure, they could have had out, but like that's pretty typical playing an interactive deck in a non-originating format like this, right? There's like really hoping that their answers line up into my threats, then they don't. We're at 86 out of that first 90 goal. Checking out the Star Trek game. Thank you everybody that's taking a couple minutes out of their day to do that. Appreciate you. Real decks have curves, chat. Real decks have curves. Oh, mommy! You love you. I am so sorry I ever cut you, mama. Please forgive me, Hazoret. I didn't mean no harm. I knew not what I was doing. What's going on, comic? We live to please. I'm in for Chandra. I'm in for the land too, actually. Hitting land drops has some appeal with Hazoret. Let's draw spells. It could be right to top both here. I don't hate the idea of a 5th land. I think I just want to trade early and often in this matchup to, I want to trade early and often to try to prevent them from cleaving me. I think this is a Scrapheap turn. With Gideon would die to Questing Beast or any haste creature. Gus, thanks for the follow. Good afternoon. So, this is actually kind of punishing draw. Oh, wait. Holy crap. God, why is this card so good? I was like, oh, that's terrible because now I can't double 2. But this card makes 2 mana.
You're going down.
Gosh, she really does everything, chat. Listen, if you're playing Historic and you like mid-range or red aggressive decks, Chandra Torch of Defiance is an easy craft. This is worth your Mythic Wild cards. This card's seen play as far back as Legacy. She's very, very good. She's gonna die regardless, so. We'll eat their elf here, I think. Yeah, if the opponent had sent Questing, they probably thought I was gonna trade with the Questing Beast regardless. Is what happened there, I would imagine.
Share in my light.
Reason to attack with that. They have a Questing Beast. Yeah, I agree, Duck Doolittle. If you ask me to give you a pretty ideal Planeswalker design, I'd give you Chandra. You'd tone her ult down? Nah, I disagree. Her ult's perfect. Planeswalker Ultimate should end games. Speaking of ending games, Embercleave's a good example of something that ends games too quickly.
Retreat.
Think we're dead zone. Alright, this is definitely a matchup where we pull up. Look at that. Just 12 baby cards out, 12 go big cards in. I like it. Do I want to set up Doomskar here? Or do I want to just step on this? I think I'm just stepping on this. Now there's no reason to wait. Let's just take our 2-for-1 here. Not be greedy.
Today's my lucky day. I don't need this.
I think we Bonecrusher Giant and pass here. Because if they go land cleave or they kill this, I can then fatal push the questing beast. And I'm going to ask, what are you looking to do with sideboards? As someone who primarily plays best of one, I'm wondering. So, in general, you're just looking, you basically think of how you have any generic deck built. Pick a deck in your mind and think about the cards that are in it, and then think about a given matchup that you're playing, and think through the number of cards currently in that deck that you're thinking about that are bad, that you wish were something else against aggro or against control, for example. And sideboarding is basically a deck building exercise mid-match where you get to go, okay, I'm going to take these cards that are bad against aggro and I'm going to replace them with something that's good against aggro. In general, in Magic's good formats, you don't want to play narrow specific answers in your sideboard because the formats tend to be too varied in order to, like, you can't, like, put a bunch of cards in your sideboard that are only good against, say, elves or goblins, for example, because you're not going to play against those decks all the time. If those cards are only coming in one particular matchup, they're going to tend to be bad sideboard slots. So you'd rather have cards that are good or reasonable against a variety of things, rather than a few cards that are insane against a small number of things. So I'm fatal pushing my Motorist here because it counters the Bonecrusher Giant, basically letting me fatal push this without revolt. But if you really hate certain matchups, sure, you can make your deck worse on average to be better in a small subset of matchups. Unless the cards are so good against one, even then, that's in in Magic's, and again, I'm saying in good formats, in varied, interesting formats where you're not playing against the same things every single match. Playing cards that are slam dunks in certain matchups, but bad everywhere else is not a winning strategy. Leo Matos, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel. And actually, I should probably link this YouTube video. I actually posted a very short sideboarding 101 video on my YouTube channel where I talk through what I think is the best approach to building sideboards in Magic. So there's a 3-minute YouTube video where I kind of give a rundown of what I think is the best process for optimizing and building sideboards, and just a way to think through and tune and tweak those numbers a little bit. Yeah, sideboarding is the most difficult part of actually playing Magic, because Magic at its core is a deck building game, and sideboarding is deck building inside of a match. Yeah, and actually, I think that's the best advice in any card game. If you really hate a certain matchup, just don't sideboard for it at all and just concede it and move on with your life. Your life is short, and there are plenty of things that are awful in life that aren't a game you're supposed to be playing for fun. So if there's a part of your game that you really hate, just skip those parts of the game. Nobody's making you play Magic. Nobody's making you play matchups that you hate. Hey, Rage Quit, thank you for the 16 months. Welcome back. Good morning. This hand obviously needs a way to crew this Heart of Kiran, but I have all my colors, I have removal spells, so I think I keep these. This is a terrible draw. Good to have you back, Monster Man. It's good to have Magic formats that are fun and exciting to play again. So, Dog Mom here, not going to be able to attack or block this turn, but can still fly a spaceship. So that's nice. I appreciate the Prime Dollars. Yeah, so like, outside of a really small number of things, like Goblins and Jund Sacrifice, Historic doesn't really have a well-defined metagame. Unlike Standard, where we have a ton of bigger tournaments almost every single weekend thanks to Star City games on MTG Melee, we really don't have consistent Historic tournaments. It's like, we have a small number of things that are known entities, but I don't have good data and metrics to like hammer in what's good, better, otherwise that people are playing. The Bezobucks comments and the people commenting about him stepping down, chat, if you think Bezos is stepping down and Amazon's money isn't Jeff Bezos' money after that announcement, I got bad news for you about how capitalism works. Hey, Comic, thank you for the 15 months of Prime. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Yep, Poopy hit one of the nails on the head. Bezos wants to not testify in front of Congress. I mean, if you're gonna twist my arm about it, I guess we'll Doomskar again. Dog Mom. Dog Mama ain't afraid of no Doomskar. I don't gotta take 2 for this. She's got a strong back, chat. Just the strongest of backs. Dog Mom picks up the game and carries it on her back. The QR code is for the Star Trek mobile game we're promoting today that's sponsoring the stream. If you scan that QR code, it'll take you to the Play Store to install it to support my stuff. Rampaging for Astodon. Alright, but what if I instead drop a bunch of bricks on it? Actually, I might as well do it for 4, right? There's no reason not to max it out. And I'm just supposed to wait, right? There's no reason to attack here. Do we just like activate Dog Mom, activate Dog Mom, activate Dog Mom? Yeah, we are unfortunately dead to cleave. They did do nothing for a while, which would imply there could have been a cleave in their hand. Really close game here, huh? Throwing a card at the giant? That's not how this card works. Yep. Hazoret's good. She's not quite that good. We're one point short there. This felt pretty reasonable, all things considered. I think the standout card to me, the standout combination of cards in my mind is that Heart of Kiran plus Gideon Blackblade. This effect felt really powerful in a lot of the games that we played. Heart plus Chandra also felt good. What if we play cleave? We just don't go wide enough consistently for that. I also don't want more expensive top end in my deck. Like Hazoret is a cleave-ish style effect that's much better against control. So I think I feel like I would want to experiment with a build that's maybe less aggressive game 1, but I don't know. Like if you run into control decks, that's probably bad. I don't know. The go big sideboard plan also felt good out of the board. I'm not sure if Conqueror's Death is good. The Doomskars specifically were stellar in a bunch of the games that we played, so I'm kind of inclined to like do this post board, but other than that, it felt super reasonable overall. All right. So I've got a little bit more time for magic stuff before we wrap up with the Star Trek things. Let's do elves today. Let's play some elves today.